Hey guys, GameBoy3800 here. Once again, we're back in Beam, taking a look at some more cursed meme pack trucks thanks to Garfield, and a brand new fully tunable thing in adjustable add-ons that's never been adjustable before up until now. We're going to start things off with meme pack. This update brings the Wilman Leak truck. Yep, that's right, this is Wilman Leak. Everybody has been asking for it ever since it was made available to members, and well, here it is. If we take a look here, press N for light. Let's do that. Here we go. Absolutely beautiful truck. This has to be one of the best trucks in the game right here. And now people can finally stop asking for the Woolman leak because it's right here. That went about as well as I could expect. I guess I'll just leave it there. I do want to repair the camper so it doesn't absolutely annihilate the next truck. And here we have TMNT. Yep, this is absolutely the correct body for TMNT. Somebody really wanted it in my last stream I did. And Garfield, the man of the hour, has really delivered. My name is Garfield, but everyone call me Garfifid. We've got 3 engines, 4,300 horsepower, and no care in the world. Now people might ask, where are the fuel tanks? Because, you know, the engine in the back takes up the spot of the fuel tank. And obviously there's no room up front. Where's the engine fuel tank at? Well, the driver has a big can of soda. We'll just leave it here for now. And last up, we have the actually serious machine here. This is the prototype truck, so you know we got some weird, funky stuff going on for this video. Gonna do a normal drive around just to refamiliarize yourself with something normal. Everybody should know what this is about. This is the normal truck setup. It's a little bit grippier than normal because it does have the Harper race tires. But other than that, it's a normal truck. Normal power. Normal, what is that, king coilover suspension. All familiar stuff. If we go to the tuning menu, we have some new sliders in powertrain. This is for Transfercase and Transfercase. So we have an adjustable Transfercase, adjustable friction, and the torque lock set. Friction, obviously how much resistance the drivetrain has, so if we increase this all the way up to 50, you might notice the truck being a little sluggish, almost acting as if it is heavier than standard. It is not, it is just weighed down with friction. So if you ever wanted the truck to feel heavier without actually increasing the weight, this would be the way to do it. It gives about the same amount of engine load all the time as engine dyno would be with its like engine brake that it applies. So making the truck feel heavier without actually needing to make the truck heavier and risk damage to parts. I wish we could make the friction dynamic so that, you know, as engine temperature increases, we get more friction. Maybe that's something I can look at in the future. It drives pretty normally though, other than feeling like it has no power. Next up, if we go to tuning, I'm going to reset you back down to 15. We have the torque lock set. Now what the torque lock does is it means it's basically like engaging the clutch in a manual transmission to keep the engine from stalling. Normally that's not an issue in a big truck. What this really does is I think it kind of acts like a slipper clutch. So if the truck is not fully engaged, the torque converter, that means it won't be putting full power down to the tires all the time. It's meant to give you more control. So the torque lock, it's exactly what it says. That's the locking torque that everything matches up to. So you can see the engine from standard makes about 1,500 foot-pounds of torque. And you might say, that's not very much considering the torque lock of the default Transfercase is 2,500. But once you get into the gear reductions of the planetaries, the tires, and the other drivetrain components, it is actually very easy to reach 2,500 foot-pounds of torque and get everything to lock up. If we raise this to a very high number, that would never normally be seen in a normal run, we'll probably see some weird behaviors. The truck may not handle as well because it's not able to put down a full amount of power to the front tires that normally would want to be locked up at this point. But if we take a look at the powertrain debug in the top left, we'll see that the front tires are actually almost never fully engaged because the locking torque just, is set way too high. Now, if you're running like a drag setup with 5,000 or more horsepower, then that becomes useful. The side effect of not having everything lock up all the time is that it does put less load on the engine, because it is basically like activating the clutch in a manual transmission. So you can see our engine temperatures, they haven't moved off of the stock temperature. Even doing a donut, it's raising it, but maybe not as much as you would expect for such a big engine. Now if we do the opposite, go to tuning and lower it down to 1,000, we are pretty much at 1,000 foot-pounds of torque even at idle. So what this would mean is everything is locked up. If you wanted a truly locked setup for like off-roading, this would be how you do it. You can hear the engine being loaded up quite a bit all the time, meaning it's not always at super high RPM. It is putting down as much torque as it is able to deliver all the time. Great for maybe, off-roading where you want as little slip as possible to get as much control down to the dirt as you can. Or maybe in a racing situation where you're only doing one lap, it's not too much to ask. How you would also want this would be for a low horsepower setup that normally you would not be able to fulfill the 2,500 foot-pounds of torque requirement to fully lock. So if we go to the parts here and change the intake to a naturally aspirated intake, this would be much more fitting for that lower slip number. Because we can still get everything locked up nice and easy. Otherwise, we would be putting down even less horsepower than the engine is able. If I'm wrong about any of that, I do apologize. This is a new territory for me, getting into all these with the Transfercase, but it's something I've been wanting to do for a little bit, ever since I got into doing the half-scale monster truck stuff, where I noticed that because the torque was set to 2500, and the engine in the half scale only has 300 foot-pounds of torque, that means it was slipping so much it was actually causing stability problems. So you got to match up vaguely with what your power output is. Of course, with a truck this big and heavy, you don't notice that too much, but with a lightweight truck like the half-scale mod, it was very noticeable. But yeah, that should about cover everything. The update is not live yet, but I will let everyone know when the update is out for meme pack and adjustable add-ons for new tunability and some more cursed trucks. Again, thank you Garfield for these trucks. He did them of his own accord. And I was like, hey, those are cool. Want to send them over? And he did. So, that's it for now. If you guys enjoyed this video with all the new things, you can leave a like, favorite, comment, share, and of course, don't forget to subscribe as well. Thanks, Gambia. I'll see you all in the future.